what you want to remember is you never, ever, ever code something as a definitive diagnosis until it is a definitive diagnosis. Okay? So what I mean by that is, on that first claim, they're not supposed to put hypertension, right? Because we don't know that I have it yet. Okay? You're going to code signs and symptoms until there's a definite diagnosis. Okay? I'm going to give you a very serious real-life reason, one reason that we do that. Because remember, I already talked about all this stuff goes into a big database somewhere, and that database has your name on it, right? Okay. This was back in the 80s. There was a woman in Missouri who had bone cancer. She had some kind of cancer. I can't remember what it was anymore. It doesn't matter. She had some kind of cancer, right? So she obviously was receiving care. They suspected that she had brain cancer, right? They thought she did testing. She didn't have brain cancer. They told her she didn't have brain cancer. Someone put on the claim that she had brain cancer. That claim got delivered to, a copy of that claim got delivered to her mailbox, and she killed herself.
Oh my God.
She thought she had brain cancer, and everybody had been lying to her. Her family sued and won a lot of money. We don't code anything as certain until it is certain. Up until that point, you code signs and symptoms. Okay? You're going to watch for things that clue you into that, like suspected diabetes, likely pneumonia, or something like that. You see what I mean? You got to watch for kind of contextual word clues. Okay? So if it says probable diabetes, probable means not certain.
Right.
Okay? So I'll code like polydipsia, I'm very thirsty, polyuria, I go to the bathroom all the time. Okay? I'm going to code the signs and symptoms until the doctor says it's diabetes, and then you code diabetes. Okay? There's going to be those on your test. They are going to try to trip you up with that, I promise you. Okay? We talked about injuries a little bit. We're going to need those external cause codes for injuries. And we'll need them for poisonings. For poisonings, you also, right after this neoplasm table, you have a table of drugs and chemicals. Excuse me, sorry. All right, so basically, a poisoning means a lot more than you think it means. A poisoning means not just that someone slipped something in my drink and I've been poisoned, okay? It means basically that I have ingested somehow something that either I wasn't supposed to ingest at all, like eating marigolds, okay, all right? Or I took something improperly that was prescribed to me. So the doctor said take 3, and I took 5, and now I happen to be vomiting. I've been poisoned, okay, by ICD-10's definition, okay? Or I took 2 things in conjunction with each other that I wasn't supposed to. So yes, I was properly prescribed Valium, but I was not supposed to drink a bottle of wine with it, okay? It's fun. All right. Okay. It means that somebody poisoned me. Okay? It could mean that. All right? Typically, so if you look at these columns, it kind of explains it. Poisoning, accidental, unintentional. I live in Lawrence. I'm a sorority girl who took 12 shots of vodka at a party, and now I'm in the emergency room. I didn't really mean to poison myself with alcohol, but I did.
I mean, on purpose. I had an accidental overdose for what they called it. It's a poisoning. I had been up for 36 hours, and I was staying awake on no-dose.
Yes.
And took amitriptyline, which makes you go to sleep. And that actually is a drug interaction. If you have ever
Yep.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that, and we code it from this column.
Yeah, thank you
Okay.
for your story.
Yeah, no, actually, no, that's a perfect example. I mean, because you think about stuff like overdoses, most of them are accidental.
Which is like,
Huh?
you know, over-the-counter stuff like no-dos, we actually get that a lot in the hospital.
I'm sure.
Like, they come in with palpitations and they can't tell us why. But then you ask them, like, what have you been doing today? And, oh, I took no-dos and I drank 3 Monsters.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Like, that's that's why we can't give you nothing, like, go to sleep. We can't give you Seroquel, nothing. Like,
Yeah.
You just gotta wait it out.
Ugh, that doesn't sound like very much fun, and that's just me drinking too much coffee. Poisoning, intentional self-harm, that is what it sounds like. Poisoning, assault. Poisoning, undetermined, so I've got a passed out person, I don't know. Was it self-harm, was it accidental, did someone give it to him, okay? Adverse effect is not a poisoning, it means basically I took something as prescribed, but I had a reaction to it,
Okay.
okay? And underdosing, I talked about that before. Maybe I'm sick because I took too little of something.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So when you think about these codes, guys, you're gonna need multiple codes here. So maybe I broke out in a rash because I took sulfa and I had an adverse effect, right? So I'm gonna code for a rash, right?
Right.
And then I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna find sulfa, and then I'm gonna go to adverse effect and put that in there too. Okay? Representing everything that they need to know. Why do I have a
I
rash?
think that's where I get confused on what, I mean, I have tried to code up stuff you gave us to use
Uh-huh.
on our computers.
Mhm.
And I think I know what I'm doing, and then it's like, well, that one's wrong, and that one's wrong.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So
So,
I don't know, I don't know what to put in sometimes.
so, and it is tricky, and sometimes, you know, and once again, let's step into the real world. And any coder will tell you this, is that the 3 of us could be sitting down coding something, and we'll probably all have some same codes, but you might have coded something, and you code, and I coded something, and we'll sit around and argue about it, you know? Not argue, but debate.
Yeah.
All right, so, but that's why your CPC test is multiple choice. You have to pick which one's right. Okay? In the real world, there's going to be a lot of variables. Okay? What does the payer want? You know, but just try to think as you're practicing, and even as you're looking at those multiple choice answers on your CPC test, what all is going on with this patient? Okay? If you see that they took something, you know you've got to go here. If I inhaled something, touched something, and then I get poisoned, okay? You're going to need what's wrong with them, and you're going to need that poisoning code too. Okay? Well, remember that with injuries. If I have injuries, I'm going to need one of those external cause, some of those external cause codes too. I don't just happen to wake up with a broken leg. Okay? Somebody's going to want to know how I broke that leg. Okay? And it is hard. It's hard knowing what all to code, and then sometimes it's hard knowing what to leave out. I know. And I wish I had a simple fix.
Zap something and
Yeah.
I'll give it back to you. I'm done with the big test.
So you just want to try to think about everything that's going on with that patient, okay, during that encounter. All right? What could be impactful? If I was looking at that note and I was a doctor, what are the things I'm thinking about? Okay? Right? What am I having to think about? You kind of have to maybe step out into those clinical shoes a little bit. Okay? Do I need to think about the patient's history? Do I need to think about the fact that they had a leg amputated? Do I need to think about that they're depressed? Okay? That kind of stuff. I wish I had an easier answer